Good afternoon, students. So we'll continue with this control statements chapter. So in control statements, we have three main things. That is selection of conditional, next looping, okay, next unconditional statements. Okay. So we are discussing about the first category and selection statement. In this, we have discussed if statement. Okay. Then if else. So now we go for the next category of selection statement, that is conditional. Third one, that is nested if. Okay, nested if statement. So here, nested is not a keyword. Okay, if is a keyword. The meaning of nested is one item present inside another. So one thing present inside another thing is called nested. Okay. So here nested if means one if statement. Okay. So one if statement in another if statement. So this is called nested if statement. Okay. One if statement in another if statement is called as nested if statement. The meaning of nested is one thing inside another thing. It is nothing but nested. Okay. So nested if statement is nothing but one if statement in another if statement is called as nested if statement. Or you can say one if statement inside another. It is enclosed in another if statement is called as nested if statement. See, when we talk about nested if statement, if I say one if statement in inside another if statement, here we can get many forms of this. Many forms in the sense, say for example, like if I say there is one if statement, okay. So in if statement, if I write inside this if statement, if I write one more if statement, okay, this is one nested if statement. Okay, if this if statement is present inside this, in this way you have to understand. Okay, this particular if statement is present inside this if statement. Okay, next, so I can say in one if statement I can write if else statement. Okay, see if you write if else, that becomes one set. If else is nothing but one set, because second category of conditional statement is if else set. So it is one set. And if you write only if statement, that is also one set. You can write only if statement, or you can write if else statement, one if else set. Okay. Next, third, what we can do, inside else part also we can write one if statement. Inside else part we can write one if statement. Okay, that also becomes nested if only, because else indicates else will come with respect to condition only. If there is no condition, else keyword will not come at all. In case of English also, otherwise word will come only if there is a condition. Otherwise, the word otherwise will not exist. Okay, similarly here also, this else keyword will come only if is there. Understand this. Else keyword will come only if statement is there. Okay. So if I write else, it is nothing but it will act like a condition. Inside this condition, again we can write if condition. Okay, this will act like a condition. Inside this condition, I can one more condition I can write. Okay, next 4. Inside else, even we can write one more if else. This is one part. Okay, in this way, in 4 ways we can write nested if statement. While when you tell the definition, you just tell one if statement in another statement is known as nested if statement. Right? If you want to write an answer, you just say one if statement inside another if statement is nothing but nested if statement. Yeah, definition. But when if you want to discuss more, that means with respect to knowledge, if you want to discuss more, then you can frame like this. Okay. When in the exam, if you write one form, it's enough. Here we can discuss 4 forms. In exam, if you write one form, it is enough. First one, if you write the syntax, flowchart, example, and definition. Finish. 5 marks it is. Okay. So this is the format of the answers. So you write the definition, okay, syntax, flowchart, okay, and for a syntax you write explanation of the syntax, okay, flowchart, example. For all control statements, you follow this method. Definition you write, syntax, explanation of the syntax, flowchart, right? Example. So this carries 5 words. 5 or 3 words, depending on the question. Okay. You consider any control statements, this much is enough. And wherever we got more than one format, you write any format, which you feel comfortable, you write any format. You see that you write the format, that is syntax, flowchart for that particular format, example for that particular format. Okay. So now one by one we will discuss. I hope you people got it. Whenever a question is asked in control statements, you follow this method. If you want, you can note down. Simultaneously, while listening only, you can note down in the notes. Definition, syntax, flowchart, example. So this much is required for these particular types of questions. They will ask, explain yesterday with syntax and example. In the question, flowchart word will not be there, you have to write. So they will explain with syntax and example. Syntax, explain with syntax and example means I would write the definition, syntax, explanation, flowchart, and example. Okay. Now we will discuss next video statement. Syntax, flowchart, example, and explanation. Okay. Okay. So before I write the syntax, what again I will tell you. In one if statement can exist. In one if statement, if else can exist. Okay. And in one else, again if statement can exist. In else, if else can exist. Okay. These are the 4 possibilities which will come across nested if. Because the meaning of nested is one inside another, one item inside another. One if statement inside another if statement. One if else statement inside another if statement. One if statement inside another else statement, because else acts like a condition. Okay. One if else statement inside another else statement. Whenever the condition will be true, so these things will execute. That is if statement. Whenever the condition is false, else will execute. Okay. When the condition is true, if is executed. If the condition is true, it is understood that if part is executed. If the condition is false, it is understood that else part is executed. So whenever you come across true or false results, that is nothing but a condition. So both if statement and else statement both acts like a condition. So in the condition you can put if statement, in the condition you can put if else statement. Again in the condition you can put if statement, in the condition you can put if else statement. Now we will discuss one by one. Okay. So definition says, so one if or if else, one if statement inside another if. First we will discuss one format completely, that is syntax, explanation, flowchart, and example. So that you will come to know what to write in the exam. One thing we will discuss completely. Then we can go for all the formats. Okay. So this is called nested if. Okay, remember. Okay. So we will write the syntax now. See, by looking at the definition only, we can say there are 2 if keywords. Okay, there are 2 if keywords because I said one if statement inside another if statement. There are 2 if keywords. So in the syntax also, I have to write 2 if keywords. Minimum it is. Minimum requirement of the syntax is 2 if statement according to this definition. So I write if. Whenever you write if in front of if, you have to write the condition. Remember. This is very easy to remember. Just to remember the English language, then you understand. See, I write it rains today. If you look at the sentence, you can understand. In front of it, you have to write the condition. It should act like a condition. That means the result of that sentence, we should get either true or false. If it rains, true. If it doesn't rain, false. Like that. Similarly, in front of it, always condition will come. Okay. And after the condition, remember that there will be no semicolon. Okay, in case of English also, we will not full stop. We will not put full stop here. Full stop is nothing but end of the sentence in English. Semicolon is nothing but end of the statement in programming language. In English, you call sentence. In programming language, you call statement. Okay, so this indicates the end of the sentence. This indicates the end of the statement. So in English, if you write this statement, that is actually not the end of this sentence. So we will not put full stop. This is also not the end of this statement, so we will not put semicolon. In that way, you can understand. Now, see, one if statement inside another if. Inside. So inside another if means in programming language, whenever we say inside, then we will put opening brace and closing brace. So this is, if you write something here, this is called inside. Okay. So you put opening brace and closing brace. One if statement inside another if. Inside another if means one more if statement I have tried. According to the statement definition, you see there are two if statements. Okay, one, and this is the second one. So second one you write inside. If condition. One more condition you write. Okay. Next you write the statement. In English also sometimes we come across the sentence like if and only if. So two if condition we use, right? These type of sentences we will speak. If and only if. Similarly here also. If and only if. Like this you can understand. So how we speak in English if and only if. Similarly here also. If and only if. Okay. In this way. So now I have written two words conditions. So maybe it may be confusion for us because I have written the wording condition in two cases also. To make it a difference, what we do here. So in case of syntax, this I will write it as condition 1 and this I will write it as condition 2. Whenever you come across more than one condition in a syntax, you write first condition as condition 1, second as condition 2, third as condition 3 in that. And statements also, if you come across more than one statement, you write it as statement 1, statement 2, statement 3 up to statement n. See, there is only one statement, so I will not write either statement 1 or 2 or 3 like that. Okay, only one statement is there. Okay. So this can be even written as if condition, okay, if, sorry, condition 1, if condition 2, statement. In this way also you can write it. So here I have not written opening brace and closing brace. This is also correct. Okay, in this way also you can write. If you are feeling confusion, then you put opening brace and closing brace. Okay. So now we will see how it works. I hope you people got it. One if statement in another if means we have to write two if statements. So for one if, one condition. For this if, condition 1. For this if, condition 2. And one statement we have written. For both the conditions, one statement I have written. So try to understand how it works. Okay. So whenever we come across the condition, so we should get either the result as true or the result as false. Only two cases, nothing else. Either we will get it as true or false. We will not get definite value like 10, 15, 20, either true or false. For true we can say 1, for false we can say 0. That is the numerical equivalent. Okay, either true or false. So what happens when the condition is true and what happens when the condition is false, that we should know. Okay. See, according to the simple if statement, we have already discussed. According to simple if statement, whenever the condition is true, statement immediately following the condition will be executed. This point is remember. Whenever the condition is true, statement or statements, singular or plural, statement or statements are executed if the condition is true. That is, which follows immediately the condition. Okay. Now you see, if you look at this syntax or this one, for this particular condition, statement immediately following is this one. Okay, this is the statement immediately following. Statement in the sense, some line I have written in the program. So that is the following. So whenever I say this statement is executed, compulsory this should be true. Then only it will be executed. So statement immediately following the condition will be executed only if the condition is true. This point you remember. Again I will tell you, statement immediately following the condition will be executed only if the condition is true. So only if the condition is true, you can say this statement is executed. Now what is this statement? This is one more condition. So that is not actually particular statement. It is one more condition. For this condition, condition 1. For this condition also result will be true and false. Right? For this condition also result will be true and false. So what happens when it is true and what happens when it is false? Now we'll see what happens when it is true. Okay. Again, statement immediately following the condition will be executed if the condition is true. So which is statement immediately following? This is the statement immediately following this condition. So this is executed if the condition is. I hope you people got it. Once again, I will tell you basic statement what you have to remember is statement immediately following the condition will be executed if the condition is true. Okay. So by this concept, what we can understand is this statement is immediately following this condition. This particular statement is immediately following this condition. So this will be executed when this condition is true. So when this condition is true, this statement is executed. Right? What is this statement actually? It is again a condition. Because it is a condition, again you have to say whether it is true or false. Whenever you come across the condition, you have to look whether it is true or false. So because it is a condition, you have to look whether it is a true or false. If it is true, again statement immediately following the condition is executed. That is, this statement is executed. So what we can say finally is this particular statement. Remember, this particular statement is executed only both the conditions are true. So this particular statement is executed only if both the conditions are true. Okay, fine. I hope people got it. Okay. So now, if the first condition is false, nothing will happen. It will come out of the nested if structure. If this condition itself is false, it will come out of the nested if structure. If this condition is false also, it will come out of the nested if structure. Nothing happens. So I will write 3 cases here. Okay. 3 cases in the sense. Anyways, let us discuss this also. So this condition is executed if the first condition is true, and if this statement is executed if the condition is true. So if the condition is false, come out of the loop. See here we have 3 cases. 3 cases in the sense. So I'll write C1. C1 means condition 1. Just write it short form. Condition 1. So if the condition 1 is true, and if condition 2 is also true, if condition 1 is true, if condition 2 is also true, statement 1 is executed. Okay, I'll say ST1 is executed. Okay, condition 1 is true, condition 2 is also true, statement 1 is executed. Oh, condition 1 is true, but condition 2 is false. You remember the basic things, it will be very easy. For condition, 2 cases will be there, true or false, nothing more than that. Either it will be true or it will be false. So what I have written here? True. Here also true. So here I have written true, but here I have written false. Because one time I have written true already, next time I will write it as false. So you test both the cases. If it is true, what happens? If it is false, what happens? So both true, statement 1 is executed. This condition is true, this condition is false. So statement 1 not executed. Statement 1 is not executed. Okay, because statement 1 in the sense, so this you can consider statement 1. Statement 1 because it is immediately following the condition 2. Okay. Okay, I will explain. See, look here. Just a minute. Okay, so look here. Whenever we come across the condition, we will get 2 results, either true or false. Okay. So when the condition is true, statement immediately following the condition will be executed. So first thing, for a condition, 2 results will be there, either true or false. If we are getting result as true, then we will not get it as false. If we are getting result as false, we will not get it as true. Okay, fine. So what happens when the condition is true and what happens when the condition is false, that we have to see. Okay, now let us consider this condition is true. So if the condition is true, statement immediately following the condition will be executed. So you put the arrow mark in this way. That means program control will come here. Program control will come to this particular condition. Okay. Now let us assume this condition is also true. If this is also true, then this statement is executed. For statement, you don't say true or false. For statement, you say just executed. For condition, you say true or false, and one more word also you can use, executed. So, first of all, what you have to understand is all the statements of the program will be executed. Executed is common. The word executed is common. Wherever you come across the condition, you have to consider the case is true or false. So for this condition you consider true, then this is executed. For this condition you consider true, this statement is executed. Okay, now I'll write that case. C1, condition 1, it is true. Condition 2, this is also true. Statement is executed. Yes, means statement. Okay, written in short form. Condition 1, true. Condition 2, true. Statement is executed. So whenever somebody asks doubt, if it is false, again we cannot correct it, right? See, whenever we write a program, after execution only we will come to know whether it is true or false. See, in the previous example, what I have taken, if 20 greater than 10, or if 10 greater than 20. In this case, you can directly say 20 greater than 10 is always true, 10 greater than 20 is always false. You cannot correct it, yes, right? But if I say if A greater than, here you cannot say whether the condition is true or false because we don't know the values of A and B. In the previous examples, what I have taken, directly 20 and 10, 20 greater than 10, so this condition is always true, fine. 10 greater than 20, it is always false. You cannot change, yes, I agree. But you consider this one, if A greater than B. Can we say it is always true? No. Can we say always it is false? No, because, say, first time I said A is equal to 20, B is equal to 10. To substitute the values, A greater than B, 20 greater than 10, this becomes true. One more time you execute the program, again you reverse, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, substitute the values, 10 greater than 20, now it becomes false. I hope you understood. Somebody asked doubt, I hope you got it. So whenever we write as a variables, you cannot say condition is always true because depending on the values, you have to say if you give A value 20 and B value 10, then it is true. If you give A value 10 and B value 20, then it is false. Okay, but for conditions only two results. You cannot say more than two results. Okay, for condition only two results, either true or false. You cannot say, sir, here also you have given 20 and 10 only. Yes, when we execute the program, we can change the values. In the program, it is variables. When we execute the program, you can change the values. First time you give A value 20, B value 10. Next time you execute, you give A value 10 and B value 20. In that case, I cannot say always true, I cannot say always false. In this example, I can say it is always true, it is always false. So when we write a program, see in the previous example, for your understanding purpose, I have not taken variables. Now in this particular program, we can take the variables and execute. Okay. Okay, whenever we talk about variables, always remember the values of the variables may change. This point, if you remember, then you can understand. So in the output screen, we are going to change the values. When we change the values, those changed values will affect the program. So if it affects the program, then we can say one time it may be true, another time it may be false. But if you give the direct values like 20 greater than 10 and 10 greater than 20 in the program itself, then you can say it is always true or it is always false. So only we have to use variables to get a clear idea. Okay. Okay. Now coming to this nested if. So C1 is true, C2 is also true, statement is executed. Yes, this is okay. Now let us consider C1 is true. Okay. See what I said for condition two results, right? True and false. They have taken true. Next time you take false. That also you tested. First time you take true, second time you take false. If it is false, the statement is not executed. So why it is not executed? Can anybody say why statement is not executed? Because this statement immediately it is following condition 2. So whenever the statement follows the condition, statement following the condition is executed only if it is true. So this statement is following this condition. If it is false, it will not execute. So what we can say, control will not go to that particular statement. It will come out of the if condition. Okay. Now third case, what you should consider is, see, you have taken two times true, right? One time you take it as false and see what happens. Because for condition two things you have to take, true and false, both. See, for this condition I have taken both, true and false. For this condition, I took only true, right? So last time you take it as false. If it is false, you see what happens. Okay. If the condition 1 itself is false, see this point to remember, very important. If the condition 1 itself is false, condition 2 itself is not executed. The condition 1 itself is false, condition 2 itself is not executed. If the condition 2 itself is not executed, then we will not worry about statement at all. Directly we can say program control will end this if condition. It will come out of the loop. That this particular block will come out of the block. So how people got it? Once again I will explain. Listen. It's very important. If you understand this format, next 3 formats will become very easy. So condition 1 is true, condition 2 is also true, statement is executed. Condition 1 is true, condition 2 is false, statement is not executed because statement is following condition 2. Condition 1 itself is false, then condition 2 is not checked at all. If condition 2 is not checked, there is no question of executing the statement at all. Only if the condition 2 is checked, then we can think whether it is true or false. If it is true, statement is executed. If it is false, statement is not executed. If it is not checked at all, if it is not executed at all, then statement will not execute at all. Okay. Only in one case the statement is executed. So write that statement. Okay. See this statement you remember. So statement following condition 2. In this particular syntax I am telling. Okay. Statement following condition 2 is executed only if both C1 condition 1 and C2 condition 2 are true. Only in one case statement is executed. In both the cases, in other 2 cases, it is not executed. Okay. So now we will see example on this. Okay. So now examples. Say first time I will take direct values 20, 10, 10, 20, 30. Okay. Next time we will take test variables. Okay. So if let me say 30 greater than 20. Okay. And again if 30 greater than 10, see out is right. Okay. So we'll try to understand here. You see 30 greater than 20. Is it true? Yes, it is true because 30 is more than 20. So this condition is true. Fine. So it will come inside. Okay. This one. Again, you check. 30 greater than 10. Yes, this is also true. Correct? 30 is greater than 20. 30 is greater than 10. So now both are true. Now we can say 30 is large. So this is the output we will get. That is 30 is large. Okay, how we got it? So 30 is greater than 10. First condition is also true. 30 is greater than 10. That condition is also true. 30 is large. This output we will get it. Okay. So another 2 cases we will consider here. Okay. So another 2 cases is like, see, if 30 greater than 20, if 30 greater than 50, out is large. Is 30 greater than 20? Is it greater? Yes, it is greater than 20. So it is true. Is 30 greater than 50? No, it is false. So 30 greater than 50 is false. Okay. So say when this condition is false, remember when this condition is false, statement immediately following this condition is not executed. Statement immediately following condition is 30 is up. So this is not executed. So if this is not executed, so we will not get any output. Just a blank screen we can consider there is that's other people got it. This statement is not executed because it is following this condition. So statement immediately following this condition is condition is false. So statement immediately following this condition will not be executed. Okay. Next, third. So if 30 greater than 50, yes, so 30 greater than 10. So I say CO some statement. Okay. Okay, now say without checking the first condition, don't go to second condition. Because second condition is true, I agree. Okay, second condition is true. We know 30 is greater than 10, yes, it is true. But without checking the first condition, don't go to second condition. So check the first condition first. So first condition is false, right? 30 greater than 50, false. If the first condition itself is false, then don't go to second condition. So first point is, without checking the first condition, don't go to second condition, even if it is true. And if the first condition itself is false, don't go to second condition. You should not check at all. Whether it is true or false, don't worry. You should not check at all. Because according to the rule of nested if, second condition is checked only if the first condition is true. So directly come out of the nested if structure. Nothing. Output is also nothing. So same output. Nothing is printed. Whatever you write here, that is not printed. I hope you got it. So in the first example, both conditions were true. In the second example, first condition is true, second condition is false. In the third example, first condition itself is false. So you should not check the second condition at all. So this is the example. Now we will see the flowchart of the nested if condition. Okay. So before I go to the flowchart, so I'll write the syntax, because by looking at the syntax only you have to write the flowchart. Syntax is if condition 1, if condition 2 statement. Say after writing this flowchart and explain whatever they explain about flowchart, then we will stop the class. Okay. And now I write the flowchart. See, when you write the flowchart, if it is part of the flowchart means if there is no start or stop. In algorithm, start and stop. Similarly, in flowchart also start and stop. Yesterday we have discussed. In program, start and stop is main function with opening brace and closing brace. This indicates start. Okay, main with opening brace, not only opening brace. And this indicates end. So if main function and closing is not there, we can say part of the program. Similarly, in flowchart and algorithm, if there are no words like start and stop, then it is part of the algorithm or part of the flowchart. So part of the flowchart we are writing. When you are writing part of the flowchart, you just start with arrow. Okay, don't write start, nothing you write. Then, so conditions we will put in the symbol called rhombus, or it is diamond symbol. So conditions we will put in this. So two conditions are there. Okay. So in this, write first condition. Condition 1. Okay. Now, if it is true, we will go to the second condition. Similarly, here also in flowchart, if it is true, you write in another direction, right side or left side. You can draw it to the right side or left side. It's your comfortable. If you draw on the left side also, it is okay. Okay. True. One more condition. If condition 1, condition 2. If this is also true, then you write the statement. I hope it will got it. Condition 1 is true, condition 2 is true, statement is executed. Again, I will tell you, condition 1 is true, condition 2 is true, statement is executed. Okay. Okay. Now, in the false case, you need not worry much. Just you connect all these things. That's all. Yeah. So in this way, you connect it. The false. So condition is false, condition is false. That's all. When it is true, you think when it is false, just you correct like this. So if condition 1 is true, condition 2 is true, statement is executed. If condition 1 is true, condition 2 is false, nothing happens. You look at the arrow mark. So only flowchart means it's like very easy for our understanding. Flowchart, so only graphical representation. Always you see, whenever we come across images and videos, we will understand better. Maybe it's your experience also. Whenever we come across images and videos, we will understand better. Say for example, if I tell any history, some history, social studies history, if I explain 1 hour, that will be different. If I show it as a movie, that will be different. Okay, that is human tendency. To look at the images and videos, you will understand better. Similarly, so when you compare with coding algorithm, you look at the flow chart, so it will be very easy for us. So only you have to understand which flow chart to understand it better. So if the condition 1 is true, if the condition 2 is true, statement is executed, right? If the condition 1 is true, condition 2 is false. Look at the arrow mark, nothing happens. Statements are not executed. And if the condition 1 itself is false, in this case also nothing happens. Directly both. Okay. So in the next class, we will discuss more examples on this.